Hello, everybody. Welcome and namaste. It is so lovely to be here with you today. It's a beautiful and sunny day in Nashville, Tennessee, where I'm coming to you live from. And I'm Asrael Zemenick. My website is asrael.love, and you can also find me on facebook.com/asrael.love. I'm really excited today. But before I get started about my excitement, I really just want to comment on Mercury retrograde. Are you guys feeling it? It's pretty big this time. I'm just noticing a lot of weird things happening, and lots of just cool fun things that are making us stand and jump on our feet and actually like really pay attention to how grounded are we in the moment and how real is this reality. Maybe I'll get into that a little bit more another time. But for today, I'm super excited because I have my dear friend Sarah with me. She's going to be coming to us live from this beautiful little island called Quadra Island in British Columbia. She is a vibrational gardener, a sound channeler. Some of you will think of that as a sound healer, and a yoga teacher. And she's someone I've known now for, gosh, I want to say like 30 years, almost 25, 30 years. And we've been working on these beautiful projects to weave sound and meditation together. You can find our latest one on my YouTube channel, YouTube at Soulstar Collective. And I'll get Sarah to share her sound camp station with you all as well, or band camp. And that's also where it's available, plus other sound channelings that she brings through that really can bring us into a higher state of connection with being and with life. And so today we're just going to open into a conversation about vibration, about energy, about being the channel for that. And I'm really, looking forward to sharing with you all. So whenever Sarah's ready, I'd love to have her in. There she is. Hey, Sarah, how are you doing today?
Hello, Asrael. Oh, super good. Super excited to be here with you. It's really an honor. Thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
wonderful. I think it's really fun to be able to share different sort of experiences of the way we connect with vibration, with consciousness, with life, and to allow people not just to feel that there's different flavors, but to just open to different perspectives and ideas of it as well. So I thought I'd start by just asking you to share just a little bit about yourself, like it can be anything you want. Like what would you
Mhm.
like to share with the world today?
Hmm. Good question. What would I like to share? I guess my main reason for being here is to share a little bit about what I do um, in the department of vibrational gardening. That sounds maybe funny to some. I guess the idea comes from I do really love gardening, like on a physical level. It's a big part of what I do. But then vibrationally, that's how I envision what I'm bringing to the world. Is planting vibrational seeds as well. Some people are maybe more of a warrior type or of different. Well, there's all sorts of ways to bring about change, and I really see for myself it's planting seeds and watching them grow for the betterment of all. If Yeah, so that's what I want to share.
Yeah, and when you feel like when you say planting those seeds, are those seeds something that like you have to think about and like create like that intention for, or is it something that just sort of organically flows through you and then and comes out through you, whether it be through sound or actual physical planting the seeds? As a yoga teacher too, just holding the space, or so is it more organic or is it more intentional, or can it be both? What's your experience of that?
I'd say definitely a little bit of both. I'm someone who is highly intuitive, and in so many ways, I much prefer not thinking about it. And a lot of what I've got to offer, I don't put any thought to it. It comes through. Um, However, whether it be for organic gardening or physical gardening, I do like to have a little bit of a plan. And I do have a lot of knowledge on what works, what doesn't. So, of course, that comes in as well. Um, and that goes, yeah, for my classes too. I mean, I did. I did train to become a yoga teacher in India, and I definitely bring in knowledge and thought and planning, and yet the plan is always so flexible, and there's so much space for whatever needs to come through, and I really like it that way. So a bit of both to sum it up.
Yeah, I understand. I'm a lot the same way.
Mm,
As you know, I teach yoga and the qigong classes, and then in the meditations I do. I think that's one of the things I love about the work that I don't even want to say co-creating, that we're being the vessel for together. Is that we both just sort of show up, and what is the meditation that wants to come through, or and for you, it's like hearing the meditation, and then what's that vibration of sound and light that's coming through the voice or through the instruments or whatever it may. And so there sometimes might not be that clear of a template or an idea of what it's going to look like, and yet there can be a container in the sense of, well, we're planning, this is the intention or the vibration we want to hold. And I know, just for those of you watching, one of the things that Sarah and I are in the midst of planting the seeds for is creating some sort of, I don't know if course is the right word. It might be more of an experience or a journey, where we're going to tune into different energies. Like we're not 100% clear on it, but we are thinking maybe starting with the chakras or starting with something like that, and allowing you to have something to bring support into your life, into your experience, to be able to ground and open you up. And so we might have an idea of like, well, this is what we're doing, and these are some of the pieces, but then the actual magic that we bring through will not be planned or rewritten at all. It'll be something that comes through very organically. And so another question or another thing that sort of I'm curious about, Sarah, is could you talk to me about your experience of that clear intuition or that clear vibration, like when you're feeling really in tune with the energy and it wants to move through you? What do you like? How would you? I don't know if describe is the right word, but yeah, what would you? What is that like for you?
hmm. Um, so there's a little thought in setting the stage, let's say, where I get things together. If there's people present, there's having the people come, and there's that thought, getting everything, setting the stage, preparing the grounds, and there's some thought in that. And then um, for these sound offerings, I completely open as a channel to whatever is needed to come through for the greatest good of all. And there's no thought involved in that. Um, for a musician, I think a musician, when they're in the flow, is very, well, it's very similar. It's the same thing in many ways. It's just this opening and no thought, and just letting it move through me. And sometimes I can get some very strong impressions, um, imagery coming through. Uh, Other times it's pure vibration just coming through, and lots of feeling coming through as well. And I always set intention. I think it's super important to have the intention behind it. Um, and that's how I feel it. That's how
Yeah.
yeah.
It's beautiful. I've experienced sound healing with you by distance, and I know you also do it in person where you're local, and it's really powerful. And this is something I'm always really I won't even say curious about because I believe in it so strongly, but it's something that's so amazing to me. It's how the vibration of sound or the vibration of light, the vibration of intention, it travels so far beyond our physical body. And so whether someone's there with you in your beautiful space, or held across the ocean or something from you, it's like there's that pure vibrational potential that comes through that is really felt and transmitted beyond the time and space continuum, right? And it's really beautiful to feel that. And so just letting everybody that's watching know like that Sarah does offer these online journeys, and they're just beautiful, right? I just know that I lay down and I was able to just fully fully receive and fully sink into a space of not just peace, but where my body, and this is, I think, maybe the next place I want to sort of jump off into, is where my body or my experience could start to heal in the way that was best for it. And that's one thing Sarah and I were having a conversation about the other day, is this idea of being a healer, right? And as I introduced her, I said a lot of you would perhaps think of her as a sound healer. But what Sarah is actually doing, and what I do, and what really all healers are doing, is holding the space for the healing to happen organically within. And I'd love for you to share a little bit more about that and your thoughts on that.
Hmm. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. It is something that I've put a lot of thought into for quite a while. I wouldn't call myself a sound healer because I felt like it implied that I was doing the healing. And I really truly believe what I'm doing is I'm setting the stage for for one's own healing capacities to arise. And I've warmed up to the idea of calling it sound healing. That's what everybody refers
Yeah.
to what I do as, and that's what if I say, oh, I'm a vibrational gardener. I'm a sound healer. Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. And so I even started writing it in my advertising marketing, and I've embraced the term, but it is a little nuance that is important to me. And I do believe the sounds that I'm producing do have a healing effect. Like I'm not, but I'm just, I guess I'm not claiming that I am doing the healing. It's really, it's a vibration that I'm emanating, and through entrainment, the process can happen. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. And I think that's huge. I think when we look at any kind of really sacred medicine or sacred healing, that's what's happening, right? It isn't about, it's never about the person. And now that's not, I'm not saying that it's not about you, because you have done the work. You're holding the space, just like I've done the work. I'm holding the space. There's a container that's there. There's a vessel that you are, I am, that anyone is, that is working in the healing arts. But it's for that energy to come through, and then what does that spark in the being that is receiving, right? That can open or enliven or awaken within them. And I think it's especially, I don't want to say especially true with sound, I think it's true with anything, but sound is such a potent way, it's such a way to awaken, to dislodge stuck energy, to
Mhm.
transform stuck energy, to bring love into conscious being, right? Like it's such a potent vehicle for that. So yeah, I love that. I'm just going to take a pause for a moment and see where my next sort of thought process wants to go. And if something comes up for you to speak, please feel free to do, Sarah. Yeah, when you look at I'm going to say the state of the world, but I'm talking more about like the state of the collective awakening we're all in, right? This huge shift, this huge experience of being human, right? And definitely the last 10, 20 years, I mean, our entire experience of being human is a shift. But we're moving through such a shift of awakening. And with that, there's been so much composting happening, to use the gardening term,
Mhm.
right? Like, and so much
Mhm.
letting go, and so and then there's a birthing, right? I don't even know how far along we are in the birthing yet, but I'm just curious, any thoughts that you have on that, or anything you'd like to share of your experience, you know just just for the greater whole, right? Is we're all in it in some way. And I think the more that we can either share our experience, or talk about it, or thoughts about it, it can really support those who are like, what's going on, right? Or when's this going to stop?
Hmm.
Because we are in the midst of a huge wave of energy, and my sense is it's not stopping anytime soon, right? We're at the very beginning. So
Mhm. So my thoughts on where this is all going, or
so much, I mean, if you want to go
mm,
there, but more just your experience, or like, maybe on like where it's going, but not like an end point. It's not about the
Mhm,
end point, right? It's
mm,
more about the journey. And like
mhm.
what are your yeah, what are your thoughts or your experience right now on the journey? What are you doing to help keep you grounded and centered, and how is it affecting you, right, in your work or in your experience of being right now?
Well, one thing that comes to mind as we're talking about this is this idea that of the holographic universe, and that within every part contains the whole. And so, for my personal practice and what I can do to help in this awakening process is working on myself. Sometimes um, looking out at the world, and there's so much going on, and what can I do to help? And one can feel a little powerless sometimes in that. And so, what are the, let's say, in the world of conflicts, what are my inner conflicts that I could work on? Um, what can what can I do to bring more peace in my heart? And to me, that's very empowering, and that's what comes to mind when I think about this journey that we're on. Is how much power we all have, and to recognize that there's maybe a there's been a lot of disempowerment over the years, and really to recognize how big of a part we all play. And if that can give hope to anybody out there, I know it gives me a lot of hope, and something that I can tangibly work um, uh, on my own awakening, and my own journey, feeling that it ripples out into the world in a positive way.
Yeah, I love that. And for those of you who listen to the show, you know that's something I talk about a lot within my own experience. Because we are all connected, right?
Mhm,
And we're all different drops in this giant ocean, and everything that is happening, even if we're like, no, I don't agree with that at all. Like that's I'm not connected to that, but it is on some level a
mhm,
reflection of something that is going on within
mhm,
ourselves or in our
mhm,
life, or in our experience. And so by turning that awareness into ourselves, doing our reflection, doing our connection, and where is it that we can find peace, right? And I know, for me, so much of it lately has been like about pausing and taking that time to slow down because everything's moving so fast. And it's like, so okay, we can think of it almost like the seasons. I know you're coming into spring there, which is a
mhm,
full-on movement or a blast of life, right?
mhm,
Like Chinese medicine, we look at it as that wood energy. It's like getting ready to burst up. And on some level, that's what we're opening into is a new spring. I think it's longer than our season of spring, but there's just this energy. So how do we find our ground, right? And how do we find that space? And I think to always to remember that like we're not alone, and as we ride any waves of this experience, right, it's yeah, it's that we're just not alone. And so where can we connect with center, where can we connect with source, right? um yeah, it's so important.
mm. Yeah, I agree absolutely. And I was just having some afterthoughts as you were talking.
Yeah,
I may have heard you talk about exactly what I just mentioned. I
yeah.
think it's a common. I'm not the only one who
Mhm.
thinks of these things on this, like how connected we are. Yeah, so it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. And it's really important. You said something really clear there. I think that's important. We've been very disempowered, and the power truly is within us in every moment. And so for those of you watching, there's this beautiful group that a friend of mine started called 144,000 Light Workers, and it's on Facebook. And it's another friend of mine, Sarah, another dear
Yeah.
friend, Sarah, and she started it, and the group has grown and grown and grown and grown. And one of the things that we've talked about a lot on that page, or that comes out on that page, is that like in some ways, like the new reality is already here, right? Like, or the constructs are already of here of what we want to have be resonating through us and through the larger collective. But it's not going to ground into being until we own it, right? Until we take that power within ourselves and look at the places where we're still holding resentments or fear, or running through the process of the old ways or the old vibrations. And not that those old vibrations are bad, they've served us very well, right? And one of the senses that I'm doing, that that's like a buzzword now, but that so many of us are working with our ancestral energies, right? And the traumas and the things that we're working with there, that we're realizing, oh, we don't need this anymore. We don't need to hold this. That kept us safe, and we're not in that space. And so it's again, it's not about denying it, but it's about, okay, where can I actually do the work to transform it and come to that space? And then this is weaving me back around to the sound. So I'm curious for you, when you're working with sound and when you're working with energy, um, do you notice that there's certain vibrations? And again, you might not be like, well, that's for trauma and that's for this, but like, do certain vibrations work with stuck energy more, or do certain vibrations open the heart more, or is it different for every person? I'm just curious about, again, that flow and energy with that.
Yeah, I in so many ways it is different for every person, and that I mean, there's different approaches out there, but the way I see it, we are so different, although we're also the same and connected. Um, so different sounds have different effect on different people. I've seen that so many times over and over. I have a group of 10 people that have basically the same experience, and the feedback is so different from every person. Um, and so it is really different for everyone. Um, and then at the same time, there's certain sounds, like something that's a little bit more dissonant, let's say, that can help with moving stuff. Or you know, there's a more rapid, harder sounds. Like there's general effects that will have a general similar effect on everyone. Um, and like I was saying, I don't put much thought into it. There's different approaches for some. Um, I know of some approaches where certain ailment would be this frequency, and there's lots of studies done around that.
Yes.
And I'm not poo-pooing it, but it's
No,
just
but it's
for
again, it's that vibration, right? That comes through. And it's
Yep.
not about, like, even though there are the studies, it's not about, well, this
Hmm.
is what I'd have to do for this. Now,
Yeah.
we just have about a minute left.
Oh,
So I
okay.
really want to just say thank you so much for coming. Sarah's website is, well, why don't you tell us what's your website and your SoundCloud or Bandcamp? I can't remember which one.
Mm.
And then, yeah, then we'll finish up the show.
All right. Well, you can find everything at my website. It's Soundseed Yoga, all one word, soundseedyoga.ca. And there'll be my link there to my SoundCloud, and YouTube and Facebook. Everything's there. So it's a great little one stop. For SoundCloud, it's Soundseed Yoga. But if you want
Okay.
to go to my website, yeah, great.
Yeah. Go visit Sarah's website. Check out my website, Asrael.love. Find us on YouTube and join us in our next sound healing. We'd love to have you with us. And thank you so much for being with us today, Sarah. Such a gift. So wonderful. And I'll see you all next week. And I wish you the most beautiful day.